Right, now we move to our first art gallery update. Welcome.
Kia ora,
Thank you for coming in today. Just as a quick note to councillors when it comes to the types of feedback. So take a note and we'll ask for feedback sort of offline later on the types of things additional that you might like. Thank you, sorry.
Kia ora tātou, Blair Jackson, Director of Christchurch Art Gallery, and Amy Harrington, my colleague who is the Manager of our Business Services. Thank you for the opportunity to update you today. I just thought we'd go quickly through some audience numbers, some recent feedback from surveys that we've been undertaking, and I just thought I'd tell you a little bit about those surveys. They're undertaken by a company called Morris Hargroves McIntyre, who we work with. The gallery team, in front of Amy's team, gets the data from our visitors, and the process of collecting that data is continual, but we get a quarterly report, and this is a combination of the last 3 quarters. So visitors to the year to date, as of that figure, but as of Sunday the past, it was 233,059. Yeah, maths is never my strong point. Of that, what's interesting is that the gallery's 22% down on where we'd be at normally, our normal targets, despite the pandemic. And interesting that the average total around the 100 main galleries of the world is it's about 70% down in reductions at the moment. The financial year to date, we've seen about 8,420 school visits, and that's approximately, we think we've got about 3,100 booked in to the end of June. But what's important to note is that 1,374 students won't be able to participate in the program, which, because of COVID, is less than the average, which is 2,300 per year that aren't able to be accommodated within the program. Interestingly, the gallery was listed in the International Art newspaper as the 99th most visited gallery in the world in the last year, and Christchurch Art Gallery was seen as one of the world's galleries least affected by COVID. With we had the least closed days, and I think it was around 51. This just is a visitor origin breakdown, and it just gives a little snapshot of where our visitors are coming from at the moment. And normally around in the kind of pre-pandemic times, the overseas tourists would be around 40-45%, somewhere around there. Interesting, the elsewhere in New Zealand has increased greatly. Slide 4, there we go. Sorry. There we go. There's some breakdown of some of the data that we collect. I won't go through every line, but you'll see that in the top line is visitors agree that Christchurch, that the gallery is an important cultural institution within New Zealand, and 94% of our visitors agree. And visitors also agree that the gallery contributes to the city and adds to the optimism in the future of the city, which is 88%. Visitors agree that the gallery strengthens and enriches the Canterbury community is 90%, and our overall satisfaction for visitors following a visit is 98%. I just thought I'd go through a couple of the other ones too, which is interesting that 27% of our visitors include a purchase from the shop in that time, and our current average sales transaction is $51. Which is very good. And interesting, our shop's doing incredibly well at this point in time. This is just a little snapshot about people's, we asked people if they see that the gallery adds to their optimism about the future of Christchurch, and you'll see that 88% tend to agree or definitely agree. Something that we've been doing and something that Amy's really driven in the last little while is we've been surveying about well-being, and it's something that we're quite interested in knowing what the result of a visit to the art gallery is. And this is statements that people believe has happened post their visit. So they're asked how they felt before and whether the gallery increased their sense of happiness or their sense of their days being worthwhile, or their satisfaction in the day and their connection into the world. And it's great to see those that data coming through, and it's something that we're starting to collate over time. I thought I'd just do a little walkthrough of some of our recent activities. This is a picture of a whole lot of range of tours that we've been undertaking for school children, and it's a range of in-house and gallery tours, but also more interestingly of late we've been working with our partners, the Tūranga, the Botanical Gardens, the Canterbury Museum, and developing tours that take children and their families through all of those institutions, and sometimes the art centre is also included. Our latest one is Ōtautahi Go Wild. You'll see a lot of children and families up and down the boulevard completing that at the moment between each of those institutions. On a much sadder note, the gallery hosted the memorial service for one of New Zealand's most important and certainly most loved local painters. Bill Hammond was held earlier this year, and it was quite a moment. Some of you may have been there. This is an event that happened at the gallery, one of our public programs in February. It was called the Big Gig Night. And a range of local bands played. All of the galleries were open. There were a range of art activities as well. And over the course of the night between 6 o'clock and 11 o'clock, we had 4,000 visitors through the gallery. We've got another one planned coming up in August, and the Big Gig Night, that night will be How's a Popping, the Art of Flying Nun, and it will celebrate 40 years of the history of Flying Nun and the artists that were involved, the visual artists that were involved in that label, and it will tell a true kind of Ōtautahi story and reposition Flying Nun as very much a story that came from Christchurch. Some of our exhibition programs of late have included the Ralph Haltery Titi show that some of you may have attended the opening. It was a significant event for the gallery and a really good example of a partnership model of an exhibition development, and we worked with the Dunedin Public Art Gallery on that, and that's proven to be enormously popular, and we're noting a lot of travellers coming in from out of town to visit that show. Each year the gallery offers a community group or a charity the free complimentary hire of our foyer space. This year we gave the space over to Qtopia, a group that is involved in the Rainbow Youth of Christchurch, and I just thought I'd just kind of finish on a quote from that group that we received following our event with them. Qtopia has been dreaming of a youth ball for years, and the Christchurch Art Gallery was truly our dream venue. And for so many in our community, young and old, school balls haven't been a place where we've felt welcome or able to be ourselves. And whether we weren't out, or we weren't allowed to wear the clothes we wanted, or we weren't allowed to bring our partners, we really wanted to create an opportunity for everybody who missed out to have their ball moment. And for so many told us, this is our first ball, as me. The gallery and your staff truly made it such a special night, having 500 rainbow young people in such a significant and beautiful venue in the heart of the city gave recognition to a community that often doesn't feel included, safe or welcome. But your team made everybody feel safe, welcome and loved, and that's such a special thing. That's it. So, questions?
Lovely. Questions from people? Anne?
Good, and thank you. Thank you for the work that you're doing with building those connections with the museum, the art centre. I think it's terrific, actually. I'm just wondering, in terms of getting those school numbers visiting, what are the, apart from COVID, obviously, what normally are the barriers that stop school groups coming into the art gallery?
The numbers that I talk about that aren't able to come, aren't able to participate are students coming into wanting to participate in an activity designed by the gallery staff and delivered by the gallery staff. So it's really a capacity issue.
Okay,
Yeah.
right. And school groups, are they able to come in easily, or is cost of transport, for example, is that a problem for schools?
For some schools it is, but we work with a community group who offer assistance for low decile schools that we point schools, low decile schools to that fund.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Jimmy?
Regarding to some figures, the first one, the 4% visitor from the overseas. So whether it's due to the COVID-19 pandemic or not. But usually before the COVID-19 pandemic, what kind of percentage?
40 to 45%, somewhere around there. It kind of varies seasonally throughout the year, but we'd expect it to be around 40%. It just it depends on cruise ship seasons, skiing, etc.
Okay, the other one is a repeat visitor, 68%. Many is in Christchurch or is nationwide? Have any?
That would be
figure on that?
mainly local visitors that are coming
Mainly
back,
local.
yeah, more than once during the year.
Okay, thank you.
And just one quick one from me. Are you still running the program where the school children, the bands and things come in and play at lunchtimes?
No, that's a program that was run through events team at council, and it's moved to Tūranga.
Oh, okay.
We'd-
No, that's,
we'd-
you were the
we'd
venue
love
for a
to have
while.
it back.
Yeah. Got some photos of my kids there. Okay, maybe you could run a competition. Yeah. Anne?
Can I just ask one more question, just following on? You talked about capacity issues, Blair. Is that space issues or staff issues, resource?
It's staffing primarily.
Primarily,
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
So if you had more staff, you would be able to run more programs.
Always, yeah, of course.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool. Thank you.
Thank you. Yanni?
Yeah, are you able to provide any more breakdown of the schools, which schools are coming from which parts of the city?
We could certainly, we would have that data. I could get that to you, but I don't have it on me. But yes, we keep a record of what schools are coming.
Do you have any general sense of which schools are coming and which ones aren't?
No, I wouldn't be allowed.
I think that we've been
yeah.
told that circulate the information would be really useful.
Yeah, that would be good.
Yeah.
Great.
Any further questions? If not, do I have someone move? Sam? Second or Jimmy? Thank you so much for coming along today.
Discussion?
Good for an
Debate?
update.
Debate?
So all those in favour, please say aye.
Debate?
Any against?
What are you going to
Well,
debate?
Yeah.
I was just going to
Sorry, I
thank them
didn't see
for
a hand
the
in time. Yeah.
job that they've done. They
Yeah.
actually have done a really good job.
They have.
So,
Yeah. Okay, and now for the
I
libraries.
did. Did you not hear me?